Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kay and I am StitchyFifer here on YouTube and over on Instagram. Very warm welcome to you if this is your first time visiting my channel. I hope that you find something that you like, and if you do, that you will click on the like and subscribe button and select all in the notification drop down so that you get advised whenever I upload new content. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back and spending some more time with me today. Your support as always is appreciated. Now, I wasn't going to film this. This is like something like 5 o'clock, back 5 o'clock in the evening. I wasn't going to film this today because I didn't feel I had done a lot. But I knew that if I held off and did it next week, it would be more difficult to film. And it would be longer. But, yeah, I've had a bit of a mess up. Oh, my stitchy week's been completely in the pan. I was doing great guns. I did my rotation stitching on Saturday and Sunday, and part of Sunday, and then I took a migraine sort of late on Sunday, and I never got much done in the evening. And then on Monday morning, my magnifying lamp gave up the ghost. I think it was a loose connection or a broken wire in the switch. The switch was in the cable. So I had to go and buy a new lamp. Hey, it's brilliant compared to the old one. It really is. But I'll show you that in a wee while. That was one thing. I also had to go and buy new charging cables at the same time because my phone charging cable died as well on Monday morning. Monday was one of those days. I was waiting on the third thing to happen, but the third thing that broke yesterday, and it was a needle, so I'm fine. Today is Saturday the 18th of October. This is Flosstube number 11, and I am going to be showing you my progress from last Saturday to yesterday. I've got a sneaky wee new start that I started this morning, but because it technically started out on Saturday, even though it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, it's technically Saturday, so that's going to be in next week's one. But I might give you a wee sneak peek, I don't know. Anyway, as I said, it's the 18th of October today, and I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't going to film this. I was just going to leave off and do it next week. But I know what I'm like. If I don't do it, it won't get done. So, going to do the update now. I stitched for 6 days out of 7. Hello. 4 projects, 0 new starts, because I'm not counting the one that I started at 1 o'clock this morning. Yeah, 4 projects, no starts, no finishes. Hello. Are you going to be a good boy? This is the second attempt. At the first attempt, him and Oscar were annoying me. Oscar was not happy because he wasn't getting attention, and Charlie was getting too much of it. But anyway, let's start with the stitching. The first project that I stitched on was this one. This is a cottage garden in full bloom. I do apologise for the lighting because we are doing it with the electric overhead lights. This is a cottage garden in full bloom with a young girl standing by a gate. Artwork by Arthur Claude Strachan, charted by Artecy. It was a freebie. It is a freebie in the Facebook group. And I stitched, as I say, for 2 days on this. And give me a second until I get my notes back up on the screen. I go back up to... Yeah. 2 days of stitching for 1,038 stitches. It's given me a total now for this project of 32,623 out of 62,700, or 52.03%, and that is my overall progress. That is it there. Sorry for the hanging threads, but I do park. I think when I put it back on the frame, I'll put it on this side and bring this down so that it's all across, so you can see that it's halfway across, and then I'll come back and start come back and start here. I keep doing it at the back, but of course, pointing to it at the back, but of course you're not going to see it. Oh, I really need to get a board. Don't. That better. There we go. So that is it there. I'm just starting just below the roof line, starting on the side of the cottage. So I've got this. I've got the cottage to do over here. I've got to bring that down there, so that'll complete all that roof. It should take away some of the oranges and that from that, sort of like, you know, the autumnal colours away from there until I get back down into the flowers. So that is, as I say, 52.03% complete. And that is going to go away until it is called in the rotation again, which will be about 3 or 4 weeks. The next project that I worked on is 2 dancing peacocks. That was Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, Saturday and Sunday. And then 2 dancing peacocks. This is still in the frame because I only managed 1 day stitching before my lamp went. So for that 1 day I did 781 stitches. And I'll be completing my 1,000 stitch rotation on this probably tomorrow. So that's why it's still in the frame. And that is being stitched, sorry, the previous one has been stitched on 18 count antique white. This is being stitched on 25 count easy count. All my projects are stitched with CXC 1/1 full cross unless I state otherwise, and the fabric is normally 18 count or 25 count evenweve, or 18 count Aida with the grid, most of them. So total for this one is 83,000, sorry, no it's not 83, I wish it was 83,000 because that would be brilliant. 8,350 out of 486,500 stitches, or 1.72%, and if you give me 2 seconds just to do that, and that is what it's going to look like when it's finished. This is Oleg Gavrilov, charted by HAED, and this is the Max Colours version, and that is the one that I'm working on. Stitching Mummy is doing Sunny Birds, Gemma Stitches is doing Marvellous Garden. Both of these are done by Oleg Gavrilov, charted by HAED. I think Stitching Mummy started the Hummingbirds one, which is his new one. No, you can't sit there, baby. I know. This is Oscar. For those of you that were wondering and thought he was a figment of my imagination, this is Oscar. Bye, Oscar. He's like, I'll get you for that, Mum. So that is that one. Next project that I worked on is in this lovely bag that I got from one of my subscribers. From Jane. Thank you again, Jane. I'm going to keep saying it every time I pull it out. And this is 941. And I have, this has been stitched on 18 count easy count with 1 strand of CXC. This is charted by Zana Cross Stitch, and it's a freebie on our website. And I'm working across. I'm doing the typewriter method, coming along here. And what I'll do is when I've come along there, I'll come back to start along here again. Yes, I have done some down here. That was before I was sure what method I was doing, but I like the way it's coming in, and I like the way the colours are coming in on that. I'm really impressed with the chart. I hadn't done one of Zana's charts before. I stitched on this for 2 days, and it was a total of, I want to say 1,039, but I don't think it was. 2 days of stitching for 1,299 stitches, taking me to 2,346 out of 92,500, or 2.82%. and as soon as I hit the 3,000 it is going into my rotation at slot number 23. This was my insomnia new start, my last insomnia new start. I have now a new insomnia new start because yeah, just because. Doesn't mean whenever I can't sleep I'm going to have a new start, but I have got quite a bit of fabric stockpiled now, so I just need to find patterns that are going to, projects that are going to work, are going to fit on them. So that is that. I'll just show you the mock-up. I'm loving the colours in this, and the way that, come on, the way that the colour changes. So that is it there. Chart. So that's it there. The last project that I'm going to show you this week, once I put this one away. You're going to, your perch, good boy. You're going to do that one these days, and it's going to tip, and you're going to get hurt. Because you just don't care, just jump. Instead of going up into something and then jumping onto it, you jump from the ground up and the whole thing just rocks. Now, one of these times he's going to do that and it's just going to give in. The last one I'm going to show you is in another bag from Jane. And it is my HAED cell. This is Roses, artwork by Vincent van Gogh, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs for the HAED cell 2025. And I stitched on this for, I think it was 4 days. Yeah, 4 days for 1,370 stitches, taking me to 69,007 stitches out of 85,540, or 90.67%, and I am on target, still on target to finish it in December. Bearing in mind that the HAED cell, all the bits for the HAED cell have to be done by the 30th of December in order to get your free chart. So I've got my 6 pages, so I'll be getting, I'm definitely going to be getting all the other 11 charts that were offered for the HAED cell. So that means I'll get like the Nature, is it Nature's King? Innocent Dreams, Drinks on the Beach, Jelly World, Portal, is it Steampunk Portal? I'll get all of them. And there was an announcement in the Facebook group for the HAED cell. Sorry, I took a total mental block there as to what I was going to say. Come on, you're going to open the mock up for me, or are you just going to be a pain in the bum? Right, so I'll put this back. Yeah, there was an announcement in the HAED cell group that the HAED cell will be announced officially on the 1st of November in the Facebook group for Heaven and Earth Designs official Facebook group. And I think it's the 14th of November that actually goes on sale. And it'll be on sale, or is it the 1st of November it goes on sale, it's until the 14th of December. It might be that, I might actually go on sale on the 1st of November. I'm still sitting on the fence about whether or not I'm going to do it next year, because it is getting to be a bit of a bind to get done. And I've got so many other projects, so I'll see. I'll have a look and see if there's any of the charts there that I want. What I might do is I might just do it if there's any charts that I like, and you know, if there's any charts I like, I might just get that chart and then just work on it at my own pace. Maybe go for the 6 pages again, so that I can get the other ones that are offered. But I'm not going to go like the clappers to try and get the whole thing done, unless you know, there's a chart that I really, really want, whereas this year there's a chart I really, really want. That is what it's going to look like when it's finished, and I'm down in this corner here, so I've got all this dark green and a wee, the bottom of the foot. I think there's like one row across the light. And then, but what I've started doing is I've switched. I was doing it stepped blocks, but I'm now actually going back to columns because it's only 7 rows of blocks, so it's not like I'm doing a full page, it's a partial page. So yeah, so that takes me nicely onto plans actually, because the plan is to keep that out and to keep that out and keep working on it. Maybe get some done tonight and some done tomorrow night. As I said, my target's 300 stitches per day. So I should really be getting 2,000 stitches in a week, but I'm a wee bit below that. No, yes, 15, 6, 300, 3 times 7 is 21. Yeah, 2,100 is what I should be getting, but I'm not. I'm nowhere near that, but I'm still hitting my goals. Because the actual stitch pal actually tells me that my goal is something like 245 stitches or something like that, and I can't check it because you're in my phone. And that's where Stitch Pal is. But as long as I do the 300 stitches whenever I get it out, I'm keeping myself up there. Anyway, but that's going into plans. So I've got that to do. I've got the other second day of dancing, 2 dancing peacocks to do. I've got my new start. I'm not that bothered about hitting the 3,000 stitches because, as I said, 941 Blue Flowers is my new start, is going to be classed as my new start for November, although I've done my 3,000 stitches in advance. Because I didn't have anything planned for the 1st of November new start wise. So that's gonna, once I hit the, like I say, I've only got another 600 stitches, 500 and odd stitches to do to get that to 3,000, and then it'll go into the 23, slot 23 on my rotation. The one that I started, do you want to see it? Oops. And yes, I'm stitching on 25 count. I'm going to be stitching 25 count, but I'm gridding it as I go. This is my new start. This is the February 2024 freebie from Heaven and Earth Designs called Venus. Do you want to see the mock-up? It'll let me. So that's what I've done so far, and I've only done about 750 stitches, but the colours are beautiful. It's stitching up lovely. The chart, I love it. I love head charts, I really do. Michelle, you're a genius when it comes to charting, and that is the one. Doing a dragon, you say you do. This is, I am the one that always says, don't do cartoony type things. I don't do dragons and stuff because they don't appeal to me. But it's the colours, and this one appealed to me. That one and Celtic Dragon are the only two that I'm going to have with dragons, I think. I'm in the top left corner here. I'm just about to start on a squat. I don't know if I'll get to that swirl on this outing. I'll definitely get to it before I get to my 3,000 stitches. So that is that. Haul, as I said, I've got new phone charging cables. I'm not going to show you them because they're phone charging cables for my phone, you know, lightning cables. Bring that down there so I don't drop it, knock it over. This is my new do it. Oh, I'm getting gaspy, Charlie, because he's been to literary. That is 10 magnification. There is, oh, I've unplugged it. Yep, I've unplugged it. The lights, the buttons for the light cycling through the colours and the lighting them and to brighten them and darken them are all on the light housing. So it should do away with the risk of breaking wires when handling it, because I think that's what's happened, is because it's, you know, because the way I was handling it for switching it on and off. I keep forgetting they're up there, and I keep reaching for the cable, and I'm like, nope, I can't do that. So I'll have to make sure I've got that plugged in before I start working again. But it's the same as the one I had, sort of like the same type of arrangement here. It's on the pole, but it's got a C-clamp, but it's on the pole. So it can slot into my light bar. Yeah, that was from Amazon. That was a big expense this week. The week before I get paid, and I've had to fork out 35 quid for a new lamp, because I wouldn't be able to stitch otherwise, and I would have been ill. Even without stitching on Monday, it came Tuesday sort of late on, so my sleep pattern's ought to pop because I was late starting stitching on Tuesday. But that was that. Also got 2 pieces of fabric from Abbey at Cross and Crash. I was doing our off cuts Friday. Last Friday, not yesterday, last Friday, and I ordered them on the Monday with some left, and I ordered them on Monday. I'm probably going to be ordering some more. She's still got some left, because there was a couple of pieces that were, I wasn't sure the sizes for patterns, but I went through my stash of patterns, and there's a couple of them that will fit. So I might get some more. I might be getting some more. I like to have a wee stash of fabric. Hello. You gonna be a good boy? Yes, I know I've got to go feed Auntie Emma's cats. I'm looking after my neighbour's cats again this week, so yeah, I've got to go and feed them, and then feed myself. Yeah, anyway, so that's my haul. And the fabric I've got, I'm using one of the pieces for Venus, and the other pieces in the cupboard. I've got an idea of what I'm going to do on it, but I'm going to have another look through my charts and see what I've got. I don't want to buy any charts at the moment. I'm on a no buy for charts because I've been buying too many. Hello. Yes. You tell everyone you love me. Oh. Yeah, so I'm on a no buy for charts until January. That being said, there's a new Nadia Strelkina chart at Heaven and Earth Designs which caught my eye. But the thing is, if I wait until January, the chances are she'll want a supersized max colour, which will be more suited to me, because as you know, I like my big charts, don't I? I like my big supersized matte colours. Yeah. Not necessarily, it doesn't necessarily mean supersized, even just matte colour size version. Yeah. Because I know quite a few people like it. Yes. And then there was another one released this week as well, which was quite nice as well. And of course the freebies for October. She's released three freebies so far. And not a Halloween stitcher, but they're quite cute. So they're in my stash. Never say never. Like I said, I'm not a Halloween stitcher. I don't do specifically for Halloween. I like to do fall stitching. But anyway, next new start that's on the go for me will be Celtic Unicorn for St Andrew's Day New Start, which is the 30th of November. So I'll come watch and chart from him and Earth Design. My next scheduled new start. I'm not ruling out that there won't be spontaneous new starts in between. I better go and feed these cats next door because I think that's what he's trying to tell me. I mean, I'm going to go, guys. Thank you so much for your time today. It's just a short one. So if you like my projects and you want to follow their progress, please click on the like and subscribe button, and on the notification bell select all so you're advised whenever I upload new content. I usually upload an update on a Saturday, and I try and have 2 Stitch With Me videos this week. Like I say, this week's been a bit of a... No. This week I've been chasing my tail a wee bit and I've not had time to do them. But I will be trying to get something filmed tomorrow. I was going to try and do Cottage Garden last week, but everything that could go wrong when I was filming went wrong. And it never got done. So this week I'm going to try and film, I'll try and film 3 so that you've got a wee bit of compensation for missing the last week. So yeah, as I say, update video to Stitch With Me's normally. I'm going to go because I'm starting to forget my words, forget what I'm saying. So I'm going to go. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today, and as I always say, it doesn't matter how many stitches you get done in a stitchy session, even if you only manage one, it's one less you've still got to do. Will you stop doing that? You're on camera. Behave. Stop showing off. Sit and behave. Yeah, it doesn't matter how many stitches you do, even one stitch left you've still got to do, so it's still progress. And if you are out and about this week, please be kind. If you see someone that's, you know, if you see someone, you're obviously going to see someone if you're out and about, but if you're out and about, please be kind and treat others as you wish to be treated yourself. Give a smile, kind gesture, even if it's holding the door open for someone, or stopping the door from letting the door slam into someone. You know, I hate it when that happens. You're like going through a door and the person in front of you just lets the door swing and it shuts in your face, and you're like, did you not see me? That's getting beside the point. Anyway, as I say, be kind. Treat others as you wish to be treated by yourself. A smile, kind gesture does not cost you anything, but it means the world to the person that's on the receiving end of that. And I'm going to go now because I've messed this outro up completely. And I hope you've not stayed to watch today. I'll see you all next time, guys. Have a good one. Bye bye.